24.3 is upon us. And ladies and gentlemen, gymnastics are here. What we have been training and practicing for at SVL for the last 12 weeks. Finally they give us some gymnastics. And then they give us kind of a heavy barbell, not really, but they give us thrusters. So again, everything we've been training in these intensification phases, even the workout we did this past Wednesday, it had front squats and chest bar in it, very similar to what this workout is. So it is 5 rounds for time, 10 thrusters, 95, 65, into 10 chest to bar. Then you're gonna rest 1 minute, 5 rounds, 7 thrusters, 135, 95, into 7 bar muscle up. So after seeing a lot of people go today, some go yesterday, this is what I can tell you. You do not win this workout in the first 5 rounds, but you can indeed lose this workout in the first 5 rounds. I've seen people do the first 5 rounds in 5 minutes and then not finish the workout. I've seen people do the first 5 rounds in 8 minutes and get very deep into the bar muscle ups. So let's break down first, talking about thrusters. So 10 thrusters may not seem like a lot to you, right? Compound that over time with what the thrusters are trying to do. The thrusters are gonna keep you in a front rack position here. So in that front rack position, it's gonna be taxing your triceps and your shoulders. You're gonna need your shoulders on our chest to bar. You're gonna need your triceps on our bar muscle up. So breaking up those thrusters is not a bad thing. If you want to be that athlete who's like, I'm strong, I can squat all day long, that's fine. But again, we're trying to reduce time under tension. By breaking our reps, we are reducing time under tension and we're keeping your heart rate in check. The first 5 rounds is all about keeping your heart rate in check. For my athletes who can do chest to bar, if you're very proficient at chest to bar, and you're like, Coach, I can hold 15 unbroken under high fatigue all the time, then you're gonna go 10 unbroken chest to bar. If you're like, Coach, 10 is probably my max set under some high fatigue, hey, then you're gonna go 6-4, or we've really been playing with a 4-3-3. Because again, the longer you hang on to that bar, the higher your heart rate's gonna increase, the more tension you're gonna build in your body, the more rest you're gonna need, and we're trying to reduce that. So going 4-3-3, not a bad idea. I even have some friends who went 3-2-3-2, and it worked for them. So once you get through those first 5 rounds, you're gonna have a minute rest. Really the only thing you're gonna do in that minute is change the load on your bar. That's it. So the bar's gonna move to 135, 95. How you break that down is very dependent upon you. So if you are a strong squatter, still I'm gonna say break that up. 4-3, we even had some people break it up 3-2-2. If that is going to be a maximal load for you, right? Oh man, I'm gonna struggle to hit that. Strictly do singles. Squat clean the first rep, single, wait and rest on it. Coming to bar muscle up. So every year we have the Open Magic. I got my first bar muscle up during the Open in 2017. I completely lost my mind. It can happen for you. Here's what you gotta understand though. Your fatigue is gonna be super high. You're gonna be 50 thrusters in, 50 chest to bar in. Gymnastics under fatigue is a whole new game. It comes down to patience. If you do not have the patience to stay long in your pull and pop your hips and then sit up aggressively, it's not gonna happen. You'll do what we like to call the titty wiggle, where you'll throw your arm up there and throw this arm up there and shake yourself and try to get up. The reason that's not gonna work is because you're already gonna be very fatigued trying to get up. Be mindful, when I say sit up aggressively, you're trying to take your head and drive a soccer ball. This is gonna force your midline to work a lot, which is already gonna be fatigued. So if you're that athlete who's like, hey, I'm just trying to get into some of the bar muscle ups, man, do 1s or 2s, take a good amount of rest between. A missed bar muscle up is gonna cost you time and more importantly, gonna cost you confidence. If you're that athlete who's like, Coach, I can do 10 unbroken under extreme fatigue, then you're gonna hold a 4-3 or a 5-2. If you're that athlete who's like borderline, like, hey, I can hold some pretty good bar muscle ups. When fatigue comes in, I start to break down, go 3-2-2. Some of that has been a lifesaver for some of our athletes here because they could do 3, then rest 15, 20 seconds, then go 2-2. The second part is gonna hit hard. And if you go too fast in the first part, it's gonna hit even harder. So last week, it was, hey, be very patient and steady on the row. This week, it's, hey, be very patient and steady on the first part. So let's talk about some scaling options, right? So we have some people who are like, hey, I can't do chest bar, but they provided us some great scaling options. So you're still gonna do thrusters, and then you're gonna do jumping chest to bar. So we're gonna bring Annie in over here. So Annie's gonna come on in. So you can use the adjustable bars that we have. And you can also use the bar on the rig. We're gonna have 10 lanes. So this is a measuring tape. This has to measure 6 inches from your head to the bar. And you have to start the reps with your arms locked out. So Annie will get into position, her arms are locked out, and then she's gonna jump, and her chest is gonna touch the bar. So notice how she gets on her toes, and she uses the leverage to help drive up. One more. Thank you, Annie. Notice when she's doing that as well, right? She's taking her elbows and pulling her lats together. You'll do those for 5 rounds of 10, and then you're gonna move into what they're calling chin over bar pull-ups. Those can be strict pull-ups or kipping pull-ups. Here's one thing I'm gonna say. Don't count yourself out just because you can't do a pull-up, right? Don't get to that point like, well, I'm done, I'm not gonna do anything right now. Nope. Like, I want you to at least try. At least try and see what happens, working our kip swings, right? Understanding how we're moving. Now, if you are that athlete, excuse me, who's gonna do RX, and you know you can't get any bar muscle ups, you're gonna go as fast as you can in the first part. And the only reason I say that is because you know you can't get a bar muscle up. So you're gonna go as fast as humanly possible, finish with your thrusters, and be done. So heat start at 8 o'clock. We'll do a briefing beforehand. Last weekend, it's twin day, burn it down.